making a short story even shorter, we hung out in Craghammer for another day. Bernie introduced us to the young Lord Gracevine, Ulrich, who was grateful to have heard about the tomb. We all decided that we go to the village of, why am I spacing on? Remembered all the names
Jorenn.
this time, and I can't remember. Thank you. To Jorenn Village to deal with the cult problem they're having there. Uh, on our way, Baghammer stopped, tried to get some magic items, had some of our loot from last time foisted on Oliver against his wishes, even though it's probably in everyone's best interests. Um, Stopped in Iman to get our cart, went magic item shopping there, checked in with Miss, what the heck? Why didn't I write that one down? God, you should probably pick someone to do this who's like decent with names.
Yeah,
That
but then
is,
it wouldn't be the leader of the group.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Um,
I just make notes and then delete them, so I'm not good at that.
yeah, I delete them, and now I'm sitting here like trying to read through the letter I wrote very quickly to try to find it. Miss Callow. Um, Stopped in with her briefly, tried to get more magic items in Iman. Don't know how successful that trip was. I think mildly we got something better than nothing. Silver Cut Roadway got a letter in the form of a little paper bird for Geckel saying, "Hey, if you want to find out about sapphire dragons, go talk to the Ashari in Terra." At the crossroads, heard that Rothgar's ship has possibly been docking or is planning to dock in Stilben for the whole Slade trade with the Myriad thing. Uh, Otherwise, made it to Western without any trouble. Got to check in with everyone there. Allison, Harold, Thalia, and Prima were all doing all right, doing well for themselves. Got more magic stuff from Thalia's shop, and she also gave us some free stuff because she has family ties to Jorenn Village. And we were about to head out for that. Got some nice winter clothes. Rothgar apparently showed his face to Prima, which was surprising.
Mhm.
But um, other than that, only other thing is that really that Barnabas talked to a demon and it didn't go super well. Uh, and Oliver is now significantly more concerned about teleportation circles.
What happened with teleportation circles?
Cole convinced him that if he doesn't breathe while he's doing it,
Oh.
he'll explode.
Oh, right.
That whole
Okay.
all
Yes.
of the stuff that went on with the travel from Craghammer back to Iman for Oliver, which was still a highlight for me personally. And but yeah, all of it kind of inconsequential given our current task.
And Oliver has been keeping track of the dates, correct?
Yes, I have.
So it's been what? I think it's been just over 2 weeks, I believe, since you left Iman to head toward back here.
Oh, let's see. All of last session took 11 days
Okay,
to get to Western, so
so
like
all right. So it'll
about
be
a 10-day.
okay. So it's going to be 2 weeks when you get there. When you guys do arrive at Jorenn. That's what it was for. All right, but yeah. So that is kind of pretty much what happened. I believe you guys somewhat decided to leave the horses in carriage,
Yep.
instead of bringing it into a burning village.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was like, I don't remember if we settled on if we're taking them part way or if we're just leaving them here, but
I think we were just leaving them here.
makes sense.
Great. Well then, hopefully Rothgar isn't too long. There are a few other little things we could do. Starting with you, Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say exactly when because I don't know exactly when Rother's going to get here. But on one of the days that you're traveling, you go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. First roll of the night. Come on, lucky. Well, let me get to my actual character sheet and out of my notes first. That'll
Come
make it
on,
easier
that
to
one.
roll that. Perception.
And I'll leave it to your guys' discretion. Who actually pays attention to your surroundings while you're traveling? Because I'm pretty sure
Geckle.
Barnabas probably just sits in the back of the carriage and sleeps. So
Yeah,
if you are
Geckle
someone who would
does.
pay attention, go ahead and roll perception as well.
I think it's definitely, yeah, Geckle.
Alba would attempt it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Geckel, you see a familiar little thing that is approaching you all again. This time from the south to southwest direction, and it is once again a paper bird. Oliver, not noticing it bonks you in the head and falls onto your lap as you are, or not onto your lap, but it falls onto the ground in front of you.
It's paper. I can't imagine it hurts that much. So it would just kind of be a like, what was that? Whip around, look around. Oh,
It came
and
from
just
the southwest.
pick it up, grab it. I know that Geckles was a letter, so try to open it up, see if it says anything.
And what it just says, a few days after you left, we got information. Your father booked passage from Marquette back to Iman on a ship named the Wave Glider. It left Marquette about 2 months ago and has since passed. It has since the like docking date in Iman has passed and it's gone like 2 weeks ago. So it's 2 weeks late at this point.
On the wave glider, you said?
The Wave Glider, yes. No one has heard from the ship, crew, anything like that. It had, and again, it left Marquette 2 months ago. It was making some other stops along the way, like at the archipelago and such. But
Mm-hmm.
it was supposed to be back in Iman around 2 weeks ago, and it still has not arrived. This is once again signed from Sura, the assistant to Sadie Marlowe, the defense mistress of the Council of Iman.
All right. I, I, I mean, Oliver wouldn't try to. Obviously, like, anyone who wants to just kind of like peek over his shoulder, whatever, he's not hiding it from anyone.
So, is it good news or bad news?
I, both. I think it's certainly more recent news than what I had before.
Seems like okay news.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Ship that the Gilded Lily was on is a couple weeks overdue right now, and that's their last known whereabouts. They left a couple months ago from Marquette. But, no one knows where that is. So, I mean, it's certainly a lead, but it's also not really anything we can do anything about right now. So,
Well, I will
yes.
say, I'm not even going to make anyone roll because I'm sure Barnabas, just from reading and such, would know that Marquette is pretty much basically on the opposite side of the archipelago to the southwest, like it's the southwestern continent from Taldore. So it does make sense why that's what you heard. That's why you thought he was going that direction towards that,
Mhm.
but he ended up going further. Maybe he had a job on Marquette or something. You're not sure, but he was supposed to be coming back. And yeah, over 2 months ago they left, and it has been 2 weeks since they were supposed to arrive.
Well, I'm
Oh.
sure they're fine. I mean, he survived this long.
Oh yeah, I mean they're they're a really incredible group, so I'm not that worried about them. But it's I don't know, just ship that hasn't been heard from, or it's unknown where it is. That's can't imagine that's ever a good thing. No,
It's true.
Well, if your father is anything like you, he should be keeping them safe.
oh, I mean, I'm sure that he's probably fine, but yeah, um, I'll have to thank Sarah when we get back to Amon eventually, hopefully.
It seems like she's been getting us a lot of fun news.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just say that happened the first day that you guys were traveling.
Yep.
It's gonna be as you're walking around. You'll probably get near the outskirts of Jorenn by the third nightfall. So, you guys kind of know what you're getting into. You guys have an assumption of what the village may look like. Well, I guess it isn't a village anymore. Technically, it's kind of more populated. But is there anything anyone wants to do, discuss, anything like that during the travel there?
The closer we are getting, and the nearer the time grows, the more visibly anxious about all of this Oliver is becoming.
Oliver, you can probably help assist with this question.
Yeah?
Barnabas, the demon you had a conversation with, you assumed he may be resistant to flames, correct?
Maybe. I don't exactly know what type of demon devil he is.
With most creatures that have some form of a immunity, are they immune on the inside? Or is this an external immunity?
Well, I've never opened one up and tried.
I can't speak for demons specifically, but the fiends I do know about, a lot of them do have some sort of resistance to heat and fire. I do even, so
Well, there you
it would
go.
make sense.
Just
But
cut open Oliver and set him on fire and see what happens.
Oh, just make an eat
There's a-
fire.
nervous laugh.
Oh, the reason why I'm inquiring is because, if I remember correctly, we have 2 of those dwarven boomsticks, correct?
Yes, I've got one on my person.
Same here. What if I was to maybe try to wrestle and place them inside of his mouth?
Oh no. Is it mostly? I always kind of thought that they things because or broke stuff because of the force of it, not because of the heat. Early,
So that sounds like a really stupid idea.
I don't know if it would work or not.
Well, neither do I. That's why I am putting forward a plan.
I
Would
vote
Oliver know if
nay.
he's fireproof on the inside too?
You tell me, how would he have figured that out in his lifetime?
I don't like. I mean, like, I don't. It's fire resistance, which I'm assuming would be things like hot foods, hot drinks, if they are to the point of being overly, like, excessively hot to the point where no one else would want to consume them. But that would be the only way that I can think of that he might know. So he might just not know.
Just roll a d20.
Okay.
I'll give you we'll say 13 and over. You'll know. you'll know for sure. Okay, you're
Nope.
not exactly sure. I mean, you've drank tea and stuff before, and it's
Right.
like if it was very hot for
I've no-
you, like for other people, it was okay for you. So I mean, who knows?
Yeah, so maybe he's not going to offer any more information on
And
it.
Barnabas, real quick, because I think you found out what type of devil was still there last time, correct?
I mean, I found out what kind of devil it was, but then I don't think that was the one I was talking to, right? I
No,
thought
no,
the one-
no, yeah, but you did find out what kind is still in the village.
Oh,
Okay.
did I?
Yes, I believe you did.
Yes.
The one with
Was
the
it
pincers.
the one with the pincers and the armor?
Yes.
Which,
Oh yeah.
Which they normally don't have.
right, I would say, just for my sanity, is it a devil or is it a demon?
It's a demon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I know the thing you're talking about, and I was just like, maybe I don't know the thing you're talking about.
You know.
Okay.
But go ahead and actually no, since you already go ahead and roll a either history or arcana.
Always Arcana plus 9.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, as Gecko was giving this idea, you do know that the average for these demons are well over 10 feet, some reaching up to about 15 to 16, and on average weigh well over 5,000 pounds. So the thought of him wrestling this thing and holding it still is kind of funny to Barnabas.
But maybe he doesn't tell him that just because he thinks it's funny. No, I'm just kidding.
True. Very true.
He would mention it.
So maybe not wrestle. I didn't
Well,
know its general size.
It's possible that we could maybe maim it in some way so that it drops to a knee, and then you could climb up it or something.
Although at that point, might as well just chop its head off.
Well, it was more I was trying to use some of our resources to lessen our load.
Just stab it with a spear and stick the dynamite in.
The new loot I got, it actually has some magic to it, and while I was kind of practicing with it, I noticed that there's one of the spells is something that I can already do that might be helpful. It would be hard to keep it up for very long, but it can protect one person from being affected or hit by the creatures easily, by things like demons and devils.
Sounds helpful.
Very helpful.
It won't last very long, maybe like 10 minutes at most, but I figured it might be better than nothing.
Well, clearly the boomstick idea isn't as effective as it could have been, but well, we can keep brainstorming over the next few days.
Yeah, we still have a few days until, yeah.
I would say the hide and pick them off one by one approach would be nice, but we all saw how that went in the caves.
Well, maybe for the cultists that's the best option, but I do not believe we can truly hide and pick off this apparent 10-foot tall demon.
Of course, get the cultists away though, and then hopefully they won't be fighting against us while we're fighting a demon.
maybe use the boomsticks as a diversion.
That's true. That would be fun.
Hey. So I'll say that could have been the second day. I'm trying. I don't want to start like anything without him, so I'm trying to give you guys stuff to do beforehand.
Random encounter. Just throw
yeah.
some bandits, some
Yeah.
some goblins. You know.
With that, you don't even need a map. You could just keep rolling until you guys win.
Exactly.
All right. So, well, I mean, I guess this stuff won't really be for him anyway.
Goblins are dead.
There you go.
We all gain a level.
So, I will say, as the sun is starting to go down on the third night, and it's starting to get dark, everyone go ahead and roll perception. Both Barnabas and Oliver, you do notice off in the distance as like the sky is turning a bit orange. You do notice that what looks like heavy clouds are coming in, but like as you get a little bit closer and closer, you can tell it's just smoke rising up from the village. Looks like many of the buildings are burning. Does not look like it's going very good there right now. So,
And it's still far enough away that we could not reasonably reach it, like now, I'm assuming.
You think it would probably be about another 45 to 50 minutes walking, and by the time you get there, the sun will be completely gone. It will be like full-on night at that point.
Corin, why don't you go take a look around above there? Perhaps you'll see something. Alba glances at Barnabas.
All right.
All right. You can go ahead and roll perception for him.
Also, how did you spell the owl's name? Because it just says owl on the tokens. I'm gonna change it.
Corin, I got him. Korrin, I guess.
Perfect. Just because I was tired of looking at owl.
And there we go. Rothgar, just to quickly fill you in, you guys have been traveling for a couple of days. You're approaching Jorenn village, and just some small side discussions and such have happened. Nothing really too important.
Gotcha.
So another perception check for the owl.
Yep, and it will have advantage because it's an owl.
It's still my perception, right?
If you're looking through its eyes, yes. If you're asking it to like go up, scout for you, and come back and like telepathically tell you what it saw, no. Then you could roll its perception.
How far can I send it and use my vision? I can't remember.
I think it's
120
100 feet. 120.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably not.
So it'd probably be more of having him go scout and just kind of coming back and giving you a general idea of what he saw.
All right. That's the owls.
Roll one more time because you have advantage. All right.
See, I told you that owl was stupid.
He, as it gets back and sits on Alba's shoulder, you get the like. It saw a lot of flames, many buildings burning. The most that are still currently burning would be on the northern end of the village. If there was one that looked like it may be like the least damaged so far, it would obviously be like the outskirting farms that are maybe like 200 or so feet away from the village itself, or it would be the southeastern side of the village. It saw many people walking around wearing cloaks, dark clothing. kind of it looked like patrolling the areas. It did see some horned creatures also patrolling. Smaller ones with very small leathery wings flying around, looking around, as well as very large, dark, smoking dogs.
Found a picture that we can use for Corin the owl, since Barnabas yells at him all the time.
Makes sense.
Poor owl.
So, I believe we will probably wish to enter under nightfall.
Does that mean we're going in tonight?
Seems like it. Barnabas, would you be fine going out when you can't exactly see properly?
I have a lantern.
Well, then part of the town is on fire, so
That too.
That is true. And how are we going to go about this? Rushing in? One by one?
Maybe it would be best if both of us tried to get close to find a secure route into the town. Say, better terrain.
All right. Well, I can move you guys to a map that will show you a little bit better of what you're seeing. All right. So real quick, which direction do you guys want to approach from? You're coming up the southern road, so you can continue just going up the road. You can move off to the side, whatever you want, like that. Or you can go make a circle around, come from the north. There are small rivers and streams around. Actually, you know what? Here, I'll just.
Is it possible to do, as we are approaching, a survival check to see if I can determine the best route that provides us with the most cover?
Sure. So, here, let's just do this real quick. All right, real quick. Who is okay with Geckel being the one to kind of like give direction, since he's going to be doing the survival?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then Geckel, your token. You guys are coming in from this direction. Go ahead and you can roll your survival.
Come on, big money.
Okay. So obviously, you're not extremely familiar with the land, but as you get closer and give it a look, the heaviest like forestry that would be the closest to the village itself would probably be on the eastern side over here, like along this way. But when you're getting up here, flames do. It's not as easy to sneak through the shadows with flames going. So, the least lit way, like where you'd be able to stay in the darkness the most, would probably be from somewhere in this, maybe between houses or something like that. And as far as what Barnabas has to tell you, it did not look like any of the outer farms had any activity on them, aside from the ones to the north, because the cultists did come from up north. But it looks like the ones farther down to the south have just been, like, from what the owl saw, have been completely abandoned.
So it seems like the best route would be maybe to this farm and then to like this entrance here.
Yeah, I mean, straight here is like rows of some corn or something like that. So it would be something you would sneak in through. So you would have a bit of distance, maybe like 100 or so feet, to get from like the edge of that to another like spot where you could duck down. But I mean, at least it's not very well lit over that.
Question.
Sure.
Unrelated to what was happening. This is more of a game mechanic that I never thought about before. But looking at the Find Familiar spell, since I don't have dark vision, wouldn't it be possible for the owl just to sit on my shoulder and then I look through his eyes and then just walk? 'Cause
Absolutely.
You
'cause
can, but it takes your action every time to see through his eye.
Yeah, I mean, if we were in combat, but I mean, like, if
For travel, absolutely, yes.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't ever do that in
It would be a
combat.
little bit awkward seeing from not eyes, and it'd be like a little bit off left, like you were
Right.
to see the side of your
Okay.
face. But yes, you technically could do that. Yes.
A little motion sick.
All right, so I go picture. So Corn would be a great horned owl.
All right.
Hey.
Oh,
Nice.
Maybe I'll have him around, even though
Let's pull him right onto this map, and I will make him a token. And if you want him scouting anywhere as well, you could do that.
yeah, I have him, now that we're closer, I'll have him fly up again.
Okay. Good. All right. So yeah, continue going. What you're doing. I'm just gonna be making a token for the owl.
So, it seems, due to the layout, our best bet would be to head to this farm closest to us. Then maybe
Sounds like a fine plan to me.
then to the city where there is less fires. There will still be a distance of, say, 100 yards in an open ground, but at least it would be dark.
All right.
Seems like a decent idea. During we're fighting, going to be fighting some cults and such. Do any of us have? You mentioned dogs, smoking dogs.
Yes.
Did anyone know who those are?
Barnabas. And, Barnabas. You don't even got to roll. Between Barnabas and Oliver, smoking dogs around demons and devils, probably hellhounds. It's like, I'm going to make you guys roll, and the DC is going to be like 6 because of your guys' party makeup.
said to be bad ones.
Dogs.
But I suppose the question is, what's the way to take care of them?
I would assume by magic or by blade.
Would we know that?
Roll a general intelligence check.
General intelligence. Such
Mhm.
just Oliver's best stat right
Yeah,
here.
that was just Gecko going, I know 2 ways to kill a thing, magic or by sticking it, so that'll probably do it.
Take it with the
Alright.
point at the end.
Yep.
So that's minus
Uh,
3. That's a minus 3. It's not a 22 because
Okay.
I don't get proficiency on that because that's a saving throw.
I mean, they're kind of just like beefed up regular dogs. They don't really have any weaknesses or anything like that. They are completely immune. They cannot be burned, so they are completely immune to fire. So fire would not be a good idea. But everything else seems to be just as effective as it would be a regular dog or wolf.
All right then. Well, we'll do what we can.
So, we should focus just on making it to the farm first. There seems to be a cornfield we can use for cover.
That's fun.
And as a general rule, this would apply to any kind of dog, I suppose, and wolf. But if there is a possibility that we can separate them from each other, they do hunt in packs, and that tends to be bad for all of us. So, you talked about distractions. That might be something that we would want to do for dogs, hellhounds, and the like.
Well, if we come across a group of them, we can always light a fuse and throw a stick. Make them go fetch.
I'm sure Corrin wouldn't mind flying by and annoying them as well. And he sort of just looks at the owl sitting on Alba's shoulder.
Corin would mind if it puts him in danger, of course. And she scritches his head.
Yeah, they can always come back.
Oh, but you don't like poofing out, do you? And she coos at the owl.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. And then Barnabas just keeps walking.
All right, so are you guys agreed heading to the southeastern farm?
Yeah, to the farm / cornfield.
So do you want to go into the building at all? Or are you just like, this is like wheat right here, so it's like taller. You could probably sneak through that as well. So you could just go straight through. Do you want to go check anything out in there, or is it just going?
Does anyone wish to check out the actual farmhouse, or are we just going through the fields?
Saying a prayer and following Geckel's lead.
I don't know. We could take a quick peek if we want to see if there's any stragglers in there or any survivors.
Very well, but we should probably be as quiet as we can.
Yeah, I can go take a quick peek.
Well, if we all
Well,
make it to the field first, then you can go inside.
Okay.
And any of you with particularly good eyesight can take my broom and fly over the whole town if you'd like.
Oh, that does sound fun. But I wouldn't want to
I
take
keep forgetting that
Corin's
I have
job.
that stupid broom.
Hey, I
But-
mean, it saved your ass last time with the stealth checks.
Yeah, it doesn't require attunement, so anybody can technically use it.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone will be great on it.
Take some practice, but Barnabas can't see, so there's no point in him to using it.
With that new loot, I could also make someone fly, though I don't think it would be as fast as the broom.
Flying speed of 50 feet.
Mine's just 30, I think.
I think it's
Flies
just your
now.
walking speed.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are ready to start heading toward the farm, everyone go ahead and make stealth checks.
Would we get any modifiers or advantage because of how dark it is?
I have that taken into account with the perceptions and such.
I mean, like I say, if you don't ask, you don't get. Yeah, I think these rolls, not your proficiency bonus.
Okay, an 11. All right. So, well, luckily Geckel and Alba were able to carry it. So, you guys successfully make it into the wheat field.
Just barely.
Well, I mean, that far away, someone would have to have done something very bad to be seen. So, what do you guys want to do? Alba, are you breaking off?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go take a quick peek. I will be right back.
Should we send the owl first, or with you?
No, he can come with. I'm sure I can be sneaky enough.
Well, it's more, if something happens, then the owl can tell Barnabas, and Barnabas can tell us.
Fair too, if you guys get to the edge of the wheat, you guys can, it's not extremely far away. It's maybe like 50 or 60 feet, so you'll be able to see her still. Well, actually, I shouldn't say. Barnabas probably wouldn't be able to see her because of the darkness, but everyone who has some sort of dark vision would be able to.
Yeah, I'll just go take a peek through some windows. Should be fine.
Very well, we shall stay at the edge of the field.
All right.
And away she goes.
Stay safe.
And she does have advantage because of her boots.
Do you want to use the extra roll or the guidance on that, or you want to wait till you're closer to see if you do something else?
Closer for a perception check in case.
All right. Well, yeah. You hop down and you kind of use the fence as a bit of like line of sight and everything. So you're able to get there. This right here is a house. This right here is a barn. Which one do you want to look for?
She will look at the barn first and then circle around to the house.
Okay. The barn. As you're walking by, You don't even really need to look in. You just smell a lot of rotting meat and flesh. As you do get there and like peek in, there's no animals left alive. Cows, sheep, all that kind of stuff just gone.
Okay. She lets out a quiet sigh and then continues on her way.
Okay.
As Alba heads up to the house, we'll move up to the northern part of the wheat field.
I think you should be able to move the token, right, Keckle?
Oh, I can, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Alba. As you're approaching, go ahead and do a perception check.
Okay, perception check and then plus the D4.
All right. Well, it's not. It didn't really take much to see. As you're getting closer, you kind of duck around one of the wells, and broken windows, door hanging off the hinges already open. Don't hear anything. There's no light coming from the inside. Either the people who were in here were taken or got away, and their house was ransacked. You're not exactly sure.
Okay. And if she sees no one or perceives no one, then she'll just head back to the others.
Okay. People at all.
She just shrugs and is like, well, there's a bunch of dead animals in the barn, but that's about it.
Well, if they've been there for long enough, they would have starved.
And that is true, and they really do stink.
Well, it's better than finding other bodies.
Very true.
Then you just, I suppose, pray that they ran away.
Well, we can certainly hope. Well, let us continue to the cornfield then.
All right. So as you guys get to the edge of the cornfield, since you're moving as a group, I'll say someone can make perception with advantage, or two of you can roll separately. Whoever's like
I've got
in the front or whatever.
+5, if that helps.
Mine's a
Perception.
+3.
I have a +7 for perception.
Ooh.
No, I don't. That was intelligence. I have a +5 as well.
And he does not have night sight or
Oh
night
yeah, I
vision.
do. I have +7 for investigation. I always get those two confused.
Yeah, Alba has +0.
Yeah, sounds like
Someone wants to
With
assist
advantage.
Gecko? Yeah.
The owl
Sure.
can assist
Yep.
you.
Gecko can roll with advantage. Yep.
Wow.
All right.
I could have done better in the dark.
Okay. Well, I actually did roll, and they got an 8, and they're not particularly trying to be sneaky anyway. But as you're looking around in this area, you do notice right between the trees and this, whether it be house or business, whatever the building is, but you do see a group of 3 what appear to be hooded individuals walking this direction.
I'll point that out.
So,
Should maybe wait until they head further down the street before maybe moving to the house.
good idea.
Let's try to stay as quiet as possible. It's going to be the equivalent of a silent 100-yard dash.
Wonderful.
I'll do what I can.
Hold on. Yes, Oliver's gonna take a second and give. Okay, let me think. Oh, using the DOS loop cast on Rothgar. Visibility.
Okay.
Cool.
Now they
Barnabas,
won't see all the metal reflecting the fires.
So it's like they can still hear things, but they
So,
just can't see where
but you know what? I will say, not only does that cancel out the disadvantage, I'll even give you advantage because it's so late, it's so dark, and yeah, it's invisibility.
and Barnabas, you might want to get on your broom again, like before.
He does.
Myself or Alba can lead it with you on.
Whenever you guys are ready, after like 30, 40 seconds, whatever you want, a couple minutes,
Well, I'd
everyone
say
can roll stealth.
maybe 10 or 20 seconds after they go further down the street.
All right. Well, like as soon as you got here and started looking around, they were like moving past. So within 10 seconds, they're already out of sight. After another 10 or 15 seconds, you still don't see them like anywhere else.
Then I'd probably say go.
Okay.
Right.
God damn.
You guys had a lot of 17s, so that's
And
good.
Alba still has advantage.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So you guys are moving to the back of this house.
Yes.
Okay. As you get there, you don't seem to have anyone take any notice of you. Alba, you do see that this house looks to be abandoned as well. It doesn't look like there's anyone inside. Although this one is not as like broken apart and like there's no broken windows or anything like that. So it looks to just be an empty house.
Barnabas, you said your friend was being held in a specific building. Can you describe it or whereabout in town it was?
I don't think I had really much of a description, did I?
Well, you knew it was a temple to the Changebringer.
There you go.
Roll a history check because that's what you did before for this. You know it is in the very central part of the town. I will just tell you right now, this building right here.
So I'll kind of describe it, but I mean, like, I can't even really point it out because it's dark. So, central, it's a temple.
You do know it once was completely, like when Jorenn Village first started, it was completely made out of wood. Over the years, as the village expanded into a town and then a small city, they did begin mining around here, found many silver mines, and have accented the wood with a lot of silver to just continue building on it as like a central meeting place and a central attraction of their city. So pretty much a large wooden building with some silver decoration on it.
I will give that description. Maybe you can see it's probably one of the taller buildings, and you can maybe see a bit by the flames.
We can keep walking towards the center of the village. That would also help.
Agreed.
Attempt to at least continue to sneak around.
Yeah. And
You
stay
hear
in,
from nowhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
stay in the darker areas as well.
Would you suggest going through the smaller buildings or maybe across town, what, staying away from the fires?
Perhaps this way because the people we saw were going that way.
Well, there may be more patrols, but there may be
Yeah,
more
like-
cover that way as well.
Like, go this way and then up this way. You know, just try to avoid the fires, like I said. Probably makes sense. Barnabas said.
Well, the question is now, what do you guys want to do?
Is everyone okay with that?
I'm fine, sneaking building to building.
Oliver just nods.
I can get on my broom and maybe fly overhead, see if not best at sneaking around, so I don't want to cause any issues.
Just don't get caught by the flying things.
Oh yes, good point.
And Oliver, you do know most of these things can see in the dark.
I'm not sure how much the dark is actually going to help us. Like, against the people, it might, but any of the devils that are here should be able to see through it.
Well, that's why we can use the cover of the buildings as well.
I just want to make sure that people know.
I assume we'll be found out sooner or later. I'd rather that be later.
Hopefully we can just get to Willow first. Wishful thinking, though.
But again, let's try to stay as low and as quiet as possible. Are we ready?
Yes.
Ready?
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
We would like to sneak up to, say, here, then up to here, through the buildings.
All right. Well, let's get across the street first. So,
Well, I was just like showing you the general route.
oh, absolutely. But so if you guys are ready to move, go ahead and roll stealth.
Wow, these rolls are bad.
All right. You guys start moving. Actually. And Barnabas. Actually, no, shit, you have. All right. Actually, then, yeah, Alba. You're walking, and you guys didn't really have a look around before you started going. And right up in this direction, you see a very slender, creepy looking horned figure with chains draped all over it. Stopped at this little like fork right here. It was coming from this direction, and it's just like looking both ways right now.
Okay. She will gesture towards the others that there's someone there, and then maybe they can just sneak off to like there or something. I don't know how far we got.
Well, you found this out as you are about right at the edge of the house right up here.
Okay, yeah, she'll just push everybody a little bit back like that. I still have control of Gecko, that's funny.
And I'm invisible, so
She just gestures that there's someone ahead. Unconsciously using thieves' can gestures, which doesn't help people, but I figure that they'll get the just.
Okay. All right. Do you want to
they
do anything, or are you just waiting to see what he does?
like, are they kind of looking our way now, or?
No, they don't seem to have taken any notice to you as of yet, but it is still, it kind of like got to the edge of the road, and it kind of looks like it's deciding which way to go, or maybe just like doing a bit of a patrol looking back and forth.
Out of curiosity, what is the scale for this map? Like, how big are these houses? I'm just trying to figure out like spell ranges, things like that.
Yeah, I'll say if you like, I'm going like with this is like 100 or so feet, so this would be like maybe like a 10 by 15 to 20 foot house building.
Okay.
So not extremely large, but also not tiny.
So that crossroads is probably like just about like
25, 30 or so feet.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought I did set up scale on this, but I guess I didn't.
Alba's inclination is to fall back until it's clear and then keep moving.
Geckle non-agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have following you.
If it, I'll kind of keep back as well. But if it starts to come our way, I'm going to.
All right, so yeah, we'll say that this right here is what we'll do the actual. You guys should be able to use it now.
Yay!
It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to
It's
work for now.
fine.
Because this building is actually much bigger than that, but this is not also the map I would have used since this is when it was still just a village. All right, so your guys are going to wait it out and see what he does?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. After maybe just about a minute or so, it keeps looking, looks down this way a little bit, and then just walks back in this direction.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll poke at someone to take a look around before they start moving again.
I'll
Okay.
have a look. Jesus.
Well, I mean, luckily enough, it is down towards the fire, and you do see the group of 3 is here. Like they're down at this fork, and it looks to be as if they're starting to make their way back.
We should probably move before they come back up.
Alba nods, and we start moving again.
Okay. All right. So, you are not hidden in between this set of houses. What do you guys want to do?
Take a peek and then run across the street.
Okay.
Look both ways before you cross.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You, like, take a peek in the houses or a peek around to see if anything's moving?
Around to see if anything's moving.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
I'll assist you then.
You'll have advantage.
Yay.
This stretch right here. Ooh, sorry. But yeah, this stretch right here seems to be completely open. It doesn't look like anyone's really around right now. Looking up in the sky too, because you do know some are flying. Pretty clear. You haven't seen or heard any. Like off in the distance, you do hear screeches and sometimes like Oliver, you'll hear very like very far away like voices that you could kind of understand, but you can't really make out the words because it's so low.
Of course.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear at this point.
Cool. So Abba will gesture to move and I guess aim for thereabouts.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, in here, it looks like it is a. There are 2 larger. It looks like maybe some sort of shops. You're not exactly sure. 2 houses, and then these are all just kind of like. It appears to be like some sort of stands where people would sell stuff normally.
Maybe try to move in between them all.
Yeah.
Everyone, go ahead and roll stealth.
God, these rolls have to get better eventually.
She still
Yeah.
got an 18.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys still did pretty good, so safely you make it there. All right. What do you guys want to do?
Anything in the surrounding buildings or
Go
walls?
ahead and roll perception. All right. Not really. One thing you kind of do notice is that this house. Ooh, sorry, I keep switching off of this. But this, not house. I'm sorry. This building has a dim light flickering on the inside of it.
There seems to be some light coming from that building.
So we avoid it.
Maybe
We can go this way.
either that or just try and get across the road, but maybe leave it alone.
Of course. This way there's less fire. Might want to go that way.
Agreed. And we'll try to move up to the end of the road, say here.
Okay.
After looking around for patrols first.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll say actually, since Alba said it, Alba can roll it.
Yay!
I think we're assisting each other at this stage.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right. As you're moving, you don't notice anything. But you do hear what sounds like pain, like whimpers, but not real, like kind of, I don't know, kind of like high pitched and strange sounding, not like a normal voice. You just hear, it sounds like something is in pain in here.
Well, I'd rather just ignore it. It doesn't sound human.
Alba the only one that hears it.
I mean, if anyone else wants to roll perception, go ahead.
Alba would have described it to everybody.
Yes.
So then, yeah, you only got to worry about rolling perception. Everyone will, yeah. It does sound a bit familiar to you. It does sound like something demonic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oliver is
But-
like positively shaking in his boots at this point.
But I will say it doesn't sound like it sounds bad. It sounds like something that's either very, very hurt, injured, or something that is just flat out dying.
I say we ignore it and continue.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it may distract other creatures, so it's helping us for now.
Very well.
Keep moving.
Yep, we'd like to continue across the road to say probably here.
Just
Right.
keep sneaking. What do you do?
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth if you're good.
Sneaking.
We're good.
Please don't suck.
Right. Yeah. No sort of problem. If you guys want to take in your surroundings, either one of you two can go ahead and roll perception.
Just not say if you want, I can do it this time with advantage.
Sure.
Most of these houses around you seem to have had the same treatment as the farm. They're broken, run through, destroyed inside. Most of these, a couple of them actually have already the fire has gone out and they've been burnt down. So there's clearly nothing inside of them. But as you're moving around, you do notice that there are starting to be more patrols. You kind of look up, and as you're like near this, you look up with your back against the wall, and you do notice two of the little things flying around. Oliver, do a perception check. Actually, no one has to do it because you've seen one of these before. In the forest with the hag, they are imps flying around. But for the most part, they don't, like, they're not the smartest of creatures. Like, they're not dumb, but they're kind of absent-minded. They kind of just do their own thing. It looks like they're patrolling, but they're kind of just flying around. And you don't see anything, but you do hear very heavy footfalls that from this road over here going away from you currently.
This may be our best bet to try and move across to the large buildings. Something's going away from us.
Alba nods.
Very well.
Okay,
Do
stealth
what?
again, which is getting harder and harder.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
10. Who's? Aw, come on.
Is this where I'm going to roll the natural 20? I doubt it.
Well, luckily, you guys have Rothgar, who is invisible and moving very quietly. But yeah, you're able to get by, and go ahead and one of you two do another perception check. Actually, you know what? It's pretty well lit around here between the fires and just having they have some torches and stuff lit on and lamps lit around the road. So go ahead and everyone can do a perception check.
Yay!
Alba killing it. Gackle, I
Dude.
can't wait for you to just hit me and you're gonna do all crits.
Dude, I cannot roll at the moment.
You are building up karma. That's all it is.
All right. So everyone else, Barnabas, too damn dark for you still, even with the lights. Oliver, you're still kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
And Geckel, I don't know, you're just doing shit.
I
right
got
now.
distracted by a pretty stone.
Yeah.
All the soot in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Rothgar and Alba, you guys do notice, you could look through here. There is this looks to be like maybe where the members of the church live. They're all very like nicely made, not large but larger than some of the smaller buildings. So you're thinking that's quarters for like priests or any sort of church workers. And you do notice that there is a back door right over in this general area to the temple itself. And you do notice that there are multiple not even, I don't even want to, just, it doesn't look like they're patrolling, more as like this general area around here is kind of like where they're making their home. So it's more of them just moving about than actually patrolling and looking for stuff. Like you see a couple people walking around and talking to each other, just discussing stuff. At the back door, there are what appear to be two cloaked figures guarding the door, and you just see it's mostly cloaked figures, although every now and then you do see another one of those strange horned creatures with chains on it walking around. But for the most part, right now you're seeing a lot of humanoids. And you guys luckily did not run into any hellhounds, which were in a different area.
This may be the part where we caused a distraction.
Oh, actually, and I'm sorry, one last thing. Alba and Rothgar also, from this building right here, you hear very strange talking, but it's very low at first, but you start hearing it, and it's a language neither of you speak.
Can Alba point it out to Oliver?
Sure.
All right. Do I know what they're saying?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Common and Infernal.
All right.
If we can, I'd point it out to you, Barnabas, as well.
I mean, if it helps, I speak Draconic, Dwarven, and Undercommon.
I speak Abyssal, which would be the only other thing that would be.
Yeah, it's probably one of those two.
Abyssal or Infernal, usually.
It is Infernal. And you hear what sounds like, you only hear one voice,
Mm-hmm.
rather high pitched and squeaky, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be complaining about someone named Mizrak, about how he's not even one of us. How can they give him this position? It sounds like a lot of anger and resentment going towards whoever this Mizrak is. Definitely not happy. Kind of just sitting there over and over talking to himself, talking badly, insulting, and just kind of disgusted at the idea that whatever saying he's not one of us, you take it as that's what's making him mad about something.
Someone's in there complaining about someone named Mizrak. I don't recognize the name, I don't think. Is anyone else?
Maybe,
Perhaps it's the leader?
maybe yes, maybe the demon.
That might make sense. It's someone saying that this Mizrak person has some sort of position of, they've been promoted to something and that they aren't one of them. So that might make sense.
I wonder if we could convince it to be our distraction.
The problem is, if it says no and lets out a scream, we're kind of buggered.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do also have a possible distraction. I can make an object make some sound, perhaps a baby's cry or such, and we could, Barnabas, send your owl with it, and in an opposite direction, have it drop it.
Or take the boomstick, light it, drop it in the north, and that should make them think they're under attack.
Especially if you drop it on some fire.
Ooh, that's a little bit trickier, but yes, if you think the owl will be able to do it.
If they think they're under attack, won't they all marshal their forces?
Yes, but away from the church. Or temple.
Just long enough for us to get in.
I wouldn't trust that owl to carry my slippers, but we can certainly try.
Oh, I trust Jorenn. He'll do wonderfully.
I mean, I can attempt to throw a stick, but I don't think I can throw it across a town.
No, it'd be up to our feathered friend.
Yes, it's a job only he can do, right, Jorenn?
Either that or someone on the broom.
That's a bit more dangerous.
Of course.
Oliver could do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're fine, Oliver. It's Corn's go. Well, I'll pull out one of my sticks of dynamite.
As you guys are doing all this, getting ready, you hear a knocking coming from the same building that you were next to before.
Gonna try to peer around.
Well, I mean, you're invisible, so go ahead and roll stealth. You peer around, and at the front of the house, building, business, whatever it is, you see a group of 5 cultists. 3 standing behind with 2 like at the front or at the door. And you see the door swing open. Oliver, from inside, you hear once again, "Why are you all bothering me?" And you hear what you're not sure exactly what the creature is, but telling the cultist, it's visibly, or not visibly, I should say, it's audibly angry, so it's speaking louder. You can't really understand what the cultists are saying, but you hear him just saying, "I will be no part of it. Leave at once." And they listen to it. They bow, close the door, and walk away.
Whatever they wanted, it doesn't want to be part of it.
Rothgar, as you're still looking, they are coming down this direction.
I will just silently. Looks like they're definitely not agreeing, but they are coming this way here.
It may be a good choice to maybe try going in the building and attempting to deal with the creature. There seems to be some issue with them. At this stage, we're close enough to attempt.
Oliver, I think you should be the one to do it. You can speak its language. Make a bargain.
I'll come with you. No worries.
Well, I mean, we're all going. We don't want to spend time in here with those 5 cultists coming.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, they are coming very quickly. There are no doors around you. There are windows, but you guys probably have about 10 or 15 seconds before they're going to be in line of sight of you.
Shuffle.
Get in.
Into the window.
Okay.
Everyone move up against the wall. And before they get into line of sight, Oliver's just going to use minor illusions. Just make like a stack of crates or something in the little side alley where we are. That's going to hopefully partially block view of us.
Barnabas will, at 3rd level, put his hand on Alba and cast invisibility on himself and her.
Ooh.
Okay. So, anyone who's invisible, do not bother rolling. But, so for Geckel and Oliver, go ahead and you could both roll stealth with advantage. Because you use the illusion. Okay, so a 21. Okay, yeah. They seem to be going by. Rothgar, since you were the one closest to there, you do hear them kind of muttering back and forth to each other about how he needs to fall in line and listen to the orders, and it doesn't matter if he's not a devil, he's in charge, and they sound just as angry with this creature as he does with Mizrak.
Definitely some infighting.
Well, let's get inside and take advantage.
Right. If I'm going to be trying to convince someone, I could use magic to help, but Rothgar, you wouldn't be invisible anymore.
Maybe just talking to it would be fine. I mean...
Don't worry. Use the magic. It'll be fine. I'll go ahead. I'll do a little bit of illusion myself.
I wish I could cast Charm Person for you, but it's just, if I cast it, it has to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This will work fine because it will be I will just be casting, where is it? I have so many more spells now.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
I should probably just get rid of that. I have Charm Person in the ring.
I'm just going to use Eagle Splendor on myself, so I have advantage on all my charisma checks
Okay.
There you go.
for an hour.
Elba.
Yes.
Elba, as you're probably going to be the one getting in the window, go ahead and roll perception to look inside. Okay. It appears that you're looking into a pantry of some sort. It's a smaller room. But the door is it appears to be empty. The door is closed, but from the other side of the door, you do see a bit of flickering light peeking from the bottom.
Room appears to be empty, so do we go by the pantry or the front door?
Maybe the invisible people through the door? Well, me and Oliver through the window.
Well, shall have to do something.
Yeah, because Rothgar is visible now as well.
Well, Rothgar can go through the
Yep.
window as well.
Okay.
So what are we going to do? Like sneak through the open it and just go in? Suppose that's the way to do it.
If Rothgar looks like one of the cultists, right? You look like one of them.
No, I made myself just kind of camoed and dark and such, but I can absolutely make myself look like a cultist. If need be, I'll quickly do it again. Look like cloaked individual.
You
Well.
go through the front, and Alba and Barnabas could follow you. That wouldn't arouse any suspicion, because you'd have to open the door anyway. And then Geckel and I could come in through the back here while they're with that.
Okay, just don't scare it, I suppose. If you can scare a devil creature.
Well, I suppose we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess looking like a cultist, heading toward the front, the other way there.
All right. All right. So, the two of you going in through the window, go ahead and roll stealth. All right. Okay. The ones who are going to go towards the front, you guys don't have to roll stealth. You can just walk because two of you are invisible and one of you looks like a cultist.
Yep.
All right. So, Oliver, you climb in, but you do fall, making a bit of a ruckus as you fall onto an old barrel that falls over. And the rest of you head towards the front. And what are you going to do at the front door? You do hear again. Well, actually, no. None of you understand it. Yeah. You just hear rather disturbing voice. Oliver, you understand it to say, "What the hell was that?"
I'm just going to knock at the door, just and anything wrong? And slowly start to open it.
You just knock and start to open it.
Well, I called out first, anything wrong, and then
Okay. All right. As you start to open it, it swings open very, very fast. And in front of you is a green-skinned, very spiky-looking, slim creature. Very, very sharp teeth, large mouth. It's quite disturbing. But it once again responds something you can't understand. Oliver, as you're starting to stand up, you start getting back up, and you just hear a very angry, agitated devil saying, "I thought I told you to leave. Do you not follow orders?"
I'll just kind of like bow my head and just checking in. Just checking in.
Speak quickly, Oliver.
Oliver's going to just carefully open the door from the cupboard, whatever we're in, pantry, and just, excuse me, sir?
You see the green head snap back around to you, and go ahead and roll actually, you can roll with advantage to roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Yay.
I was waiting for
Again.
Go ahead and roll in an initiative.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on. There we go.
It's a barb devil.
Yeah. Hey.
Its head swings around to you and just sees you there, and it kind of just looks at you, looks back at Rothgar, and you again. No,
Yep.
who speaks Infernal?
Trust me.
All right. So you're the only one who understands. It says, "What is this?"
We just need to talk to you for a minute. We're here to deal with Mizrak.
You see it kind of like squint its eyes a little bit at you, and it just he kind of looks at you. Gecko, are you visible right now?
I am just out of sight. Just at this corner of the door in
Okay.
case he comes closer.
All right. Well, the barb devil squints its eyes and goes, "Well, I don't take this as a coincidence. You think two of you will defeat Mizrak?"
No. Well, maybe, but we feel. I thought maybe we could
You
help
better
each
be
other out
quick and
here.
give me a reason not to kill you.
Is Oliver
You-
looking nervous?
You want him dealt with, right? Like that's. We can help each other.
I'll step out.
There's a lot
Well,
more.
right before you step out, Rothgar,
Yes.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh crap.
Right. Well, you're not going to take any damage, but it still does grab you by the throat and pulls you in.
Very well.
Alba will, I guess, take our chance to get in as well.
Okay, Barnabas.
Yep.
Okay, you guys both get in. This time I will actually make you roll a stealth check just because of how close you are to this thing.
Ugh.
22.
Barnabas, you catch your foot on the door a little bit, and you hear a little thud, and you see its head shift down that direction, and then just kind of look up and like start scanning the area. And he actually, Rothgar, you're off your feet, and he's holding you with his right hand, and he grabs the door with his left and closes it, and he just looks straight at you, Oliver, and he says, "Quickly, I don't think your friend has very long."
There's a lot more than just the two of us.
I'll just go ahead and drop my disguise if we're inside the door shut.
I mean, it's been a problem for you, right? You don't like you were saying. He's not one of your group. He's not a
One of
Oh,
us.
like you-
And he
yeah.
kind of points between himself and you.
yeah. But look, we can help each other out. If you help us get rid of him, maybe we can help put you in his place.
He kind of once again squints his eyes, but he lowers Rothgar a bit to where you are standing now, but he's still holding your neck, so you can't just get away.
I
Come on, Oliver. You're
Yeah.
doing great.
look, just none of us are interested in trying to take over group, but we do want him gone. So
What brings you here? We have had many run from us. None have come here looking for us. Why do you come?
we came to deal with Mizrak. One way or the other.
So you came all the way here to fight a demon. Just to fight a demon. Something's not adding up.
Does he speak common?
You once again hear in you hear in your mind, Geckel. I'm speaking to my brethren. You can talk when you are spoken to.
We have few particular reasons to deal with Mizrak.
Well, those particular reasons are very important to me. It is not that I do not follow the cause. It is not that I do not worship our Lord. I just do not see a reason for a creature like that to be put in any sort of powerful position.
I completely agree. But
If you're telling me that you simply wish to kill Mizrak and allow me to take over for him, my question would be, why would it be better for you to have me in charge?
the devils follow rules of law, not this wanton destruction like the demons cause.
And you see him kind of nods in slight agreement. He says, well, again, while we can both agree on that, you must be here because you heard of what my family and I have done. So, it leads me to believe that you have come here to destroy my family, to make us leave this place.
I won't lie. We would prefer if you weren't here, yes, but
Yes,
given
we would too.
how French everything is and how many people are here, I think we're willing to just take the small victories where we can.
He kind of looks at you up and down, and he just, so, what is your plan then? You are going to go in, fight all the forces, and kill Mizrak?
Managed to get past them so far without raising an alarm. I don't see a reason we have to fight all of them.
Well, so, I do have a bit of power here, where those still who, aside from Mizrak, will follow my direction. I can most likely get them to leave the temple that Mizrak has claimed for himself and not allowed anyone else in, aside from that little creature. So, if I am to bring the people who are guarding the temple with me somewhere, give you some time, you're willing to go in there and rid me of this annoyance.
If you can just help us get in, we can deal with it.
He finally lets go of you, Rothgar, but well, I will say Geckel and Oliver, you see a very disturbing smile creep up on his face, and he just goes, well, we all know we don't trust each other. No better way to make sure we all stay in line than a contract.
I guess that's true.
Oliver, are we good?
Wait just a bit.
Well, he starts talking in common now,
Mm-hmm.
and he just goes, Good to meet you. Oliver, was it?
Yes. And you are?
He kind of gets the big smile on his face again, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not dumb enough to give my name." And he kind of just grins at you and then looks over to Rothgar.
Well, look, if you're willing to help us, or at least take care of the leader here,
Mm, if we agree to a deal and sign a contract, he's willing to let us get in and hopefully keep people out. We handle Mizrak.
well, if it's a deal, what would the deal be?
He
I don't-
kind of just grins again and he goes, "Well, a deal between two devils."
How about me instead?
He kind of looks you up and down and kind of just spits at your feet and he goes, "You're not my kind. I have no trust in you."
No trust in me, but you're unwilling to give a name.
That would be proving that I have no trust in you.
Ah, well, I'm willing to give you my name if that would help.
Go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw. You'll take just 1 point of damage. He's not trying to like really hurt you, but some of the barbs on his hand do catch you and cut you a bit, and he just grabs you by the throat again, and I really lose my patience for the lessers who talk to me like you.
Wait. I'll make the deal, but if we're going to agree to this and you're going to make this an official contract, then we need to know what the terms of that contract are.
He once again lowers you, Rothgar, and puts his finger up to where your lips would be if you weren't wearing a helmet, in like a gesture of shut up, like shut your mouth, like a disrespectful, like don't talk kind of thing.
Yep.
And he looks at you once again, and well, my young friend Oliver, how about this? I will let you write the contract. But if I feel you are trying to take advantage of me, or if I feel you're being unfair, well, let's just say that you are all in a house right now, in the middle of people who would put their lives on the line for me. So I'd be sure to make the contract very, very fair.
Can I consult with the others here with me?
He kind of looks at you, and you get a bit of like a disgusted look on his face. He goes, "If you value their input, I don't have much hope."
It always helps to have an extra set of eyes.
And he just lowers his hand and lets you move over towards them if you wish to, Rothgar.
We'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Oliver will kind of take his pack off, rummage around, find some of his paper and ink. All right. Oh. You guys think?
Oliver, we don't truly know what he's going to want for his assistance and looking the other way.
Agreed.
The way
All we know is that he wants a contract.
And yes, we'll be taking out his, I suppose, a rival here, but it's tricky business.
it is. But all we need to do is have him and his will look the other way for a while. There shouldn't really be any real risk to them.
The question still is, what would he want? I suppose it just deals with devils. It's heard all the time. And I mean, what can we offer him to convince him to look the other way without offering absurdity?
The longer this conversation is going on, now that we're actually like talking and Oliver's not trying to like put on the brave face and do what he needs to do, like the more panicked he is looking about this all.
Well, the more you do it too, the Barb Devil is kind of walking around just with his, every once in a while with his hands pushing out in front of him and his tail kind of whipping back and forth. So Alba and Barnabas, what do you guys want to do? He is actively looking for something that he cannot see.
Alba is going to attempt to move behind Oliver.
Barnabas?
I'm contemplating.
Alba?
For now,
You are able to.
Yeah, for now I will follow Alba.
Okay. All right. You guys seem to be out of the way for now.
Yeah, Oliver has no idea where you guys are, so
Alba will gently put a hand on his back.
if we just make a deal, a contract for gives us a set amount of time, maybe like an hour, where
again,
his people
what
won't
is
bother us.
what is he going to want in return? A
Will
contract
be
goes both ways.
eliminating his rival for him.
I don't think that's going to be enough. If that was enough, we wouldn't need a contract.
Well, why not just ask him? Or would you prefer I do it?
A being like this, I wouldn't do so. Perhaps we could throw in some sort of stipulation that we won't attempt anything that would go against his goals for a set amount of time as well.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't think we should make it more complicated than it needs to be. The simpler the better. He takes his forces and leaves for an hour. We kill the demon. And once the demon's dead, contract's fulfilled.
Well, if you think he'd go for it, I
Worry.
guess give it a try.
I just worry if we agree to something like that, then as soon as the contract's fulfilled, him and his people will form in and deal with us.
It lets us deal with half of them first.
We'd still be swarmed, and no. What if, again, we include something that we at least go our separate ways safely, and he gets gets to take over the group, but we won't attempt to do anything that will cause issue with his plans for, again, a set amount of time.
Well, that's not really why we're here. We're here to get rid of them.
No, we're here to, because of a vision. We're not. I don't think we're going to be able to clear this entire town. No, I don't think we are.
Oliver, in your head,
Yeah.
you just hear, "I grow impatient."
Oliver is going to start writing down a contract. Best of his ability.
Okay.
Alba's reading from over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you looking for to put in this contract?
For his part, he will have his people leave that, leave the area where Mizrak is clear of other obstacles for us for the next hour.
Okay.
And they will not harm us in any way for a similar amount of time. We'll say an hour.
So,
And in return, we will kill Mizrak or send him back to the abyss, however that process works.
mm-hmm.
And Oliver
With-
will feel a tug and be like,
No.
and remember, Willow.
Well, we'll take care of the business we came here to take care of.
We will deal with Mizrak within that hour. Or no, we will just deal with Mizrak. I'm not going to put a time limit on that part.
Okay.
We will then, and once that, and before that time is up, that hour is up, we will leave Jorenn Village, and we will not return within like the next. The city's pretty much like totaled at this point, right?
Oh,
Like, we
yeah.
haven't
It
seen
is
any
a
signs.
lost cause.
Okay.
We
We will not
return.
return to Jorenn Village within the next week.
Give him a month.
And if either party should break the contract, and yeah, Oliver's going to pause on this part because no idea what to make those terms. Kind of look to the others for help.
When he sees you stop writing, he kind of looks. He goes, "Good, you're done."
Almost.
Tell me what you have so far.
Right now, I'm just trying to decide what the term should be for failure to fulfill the contract.
He lets out a not very loud, but a loud, very sinister chuckle, and he once again in infernal this time he goes, "What type of a devil are you? Everyone knows the price you pay for not fulfilling a contract is your soul."
So that's just to him and Infernal. That's not.
Yeah.
That is just Oliver.
Well, Oliver,
Oliver will.
Oliver, we need to come up with a thing for you, for us to succeed if we fail our part of the bargain, and for him
Yes.
to if he fails his part of the bargain.
Yeah. Do you guys have any ideas for that part? Because he's pretty clear about what our part should be.
And that part
Are
is,
you whispering this, or are you talking out loud?
I'm just talking like normal.
Okay.
I'm
He kind of grins again and says, what type of devil do you take me for? If you're willing to put your soul up, I am as well. I can guarantee I keep my part of the bargain.
Again, we should just keep it as simple as needed.
Yep. Okay. So Oliver will add that the consequences for failing to fulfill the bargain, as yada yada yada, is to, one's life
Give up one
and
soul to the other.
life and soul is forfeit to the other party.
And you are all seeing him write this.
Well, maybe not life, just soul.
If we mess up, I'd rather live. At least for a while.
yes, you'll offer your soul.
He once again kind of laughs and just goes, my dear boy, if you mess up, I do not think you're going to have to you will be living very long at all.
So,
Well,
is this right?
I feel like you should include the Willow. I mean, she's not technically part of our group, is she?
True. Right.
that's
So
why
yeah.
I kind of like the idea of instead of us taking care of this demon, make it us we take care of the business we agreed on, and we need to take care of the business we came here for. We came here for them.
Right. So Oliver will amend that too, in addition to not hurting us.
Including Willow?
Including Willow in that, and leaving her alone.
I'll stop him before he writes Willow. It's just we
Yep.
came to allow us to take care of the business we came here for. Don't mention exactly what it is.
Not clear he's not going to agree to it.
I mean, does it truly look that Oliver does not want to sign this?
Yes, but here we are.
Okay.
TPK time.
Yep.
Mhm.
It seems like it's going to my speciality now.
So yeah, the stipulation would be about this.
You guys, it sounds like
yep.
the stipulation is going to be you guys will take care of Mizrak. In return, you want safety for you all until you are out of Jorenn Village, and including in you all is Willow.
Any people currently in the village that are not part of the cult, so I can avoid being Willow specifically by name.
Gecko, you walk out. What are you doing?
Well, I can see someone's about to have a fucking panic attack signing a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Sure, I'll do it.
As you walk out, his eyes just go up to you.
Don't
Do you need
any-
something, dragon?
Albo will put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Don't do anything stupid."
Why not just leave?
He kind of looks at you quizzically, kind of confused. Leave my family?
Take them with you.
You see, they do not answer to me anymore. I could not take them from their positions. I can tell them where to go right now within the city, but I cannot make them leave.
So if he dies, you can leave.
It would be a possibility again. We do not wish to stay here, so close to the hallowed ground for that horrible god. But this is where we are told to stay.
And he's telling you to stay.
Well,
Told to stay by who?
Mizrak. He thought it would be funny to desecrate a temple of the Changebringer, and he says it with like disgust in his voice. He thought it would show his true allegiance to our Lord.
So, you just wish to leave this place.
I wish to be in control of my family again.
Then how does this sound? You move your family to the north of the village. We kill him, you go. Everyone wins.
He kind of looks at you, grins, looks over your shoulder to Oliver, and he just says, usually don't have much of a appreciation for these kind, but I will give him it. He is blunt.
That, and he doesn't wish to sign the contract. So if we make it as simple as possible, it's easier for everyone.
Well, not for me. I will not be working with you without a contract.
Then the contract can be, we kill Mizrak, and you can take your family and leave. Again, everyone wins.
This could be agreeable, but I cannot guarantee you that we will leave immediately. I can't gather everyone up within the next probably even day or two.
But you will leave within the week.
He kind of looks at you, and you notice he has kind of been slouching over, and he kind of finally stands up to his full height, and he's a few inches taller than you, and he just, I think you're getting a bit ahead of yourself. It sounds as if you're trying to tell me what I will do.
No, just to confirm the details.
Well, the details are being written down by your little friend over there.
As Geckel has been saying these things, Oliver has pulled out like a second sheet of paper and is just jotting down notes of like, that sounds better. Maybe we should do that.
Is that something you wish to do, Oliver? We kill the demon, and our friend here can take his family and leave as soon as he can. That way, everyone's happy. He'll just smile at him.
That, as long as they don't hurt we're looking for too, then yes.
If you came here looking for that little creature, I would be willing to get rid of her for free.
Well, we can take her. You won't be your problem.
Even better.
All right. Oliver's going to take that and write that agreement up instead, because that sounds way better.
Okay. So, just to get the agreement out there, you guys are willing to take care of the demon, Mizrak.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, You want him to leave.
Remove the demon.
Yes. You want him to take his cult at the earliest time he could and leave Jorenn Village. As well as you want safety for you all as well as Willow until you are gone.
I mean, that's a pretty simple thing we're asking for, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm just trying to make sure I get it down exactly like what you guys want.
That is.
So if I'm wrong at all, or if you
acceptable.
have a little thing you want to change, feel free.
The wording you just gave us is acceptable to me.
Like, the very simplest is, we kill demon, you guys fuck off as soon as you can, and we'll just go the other way. That's the...
And leave us alone.
Yeah, that's like the simplest way to put that.
Okay. All right. Well, Oliver, I will say to you, you know you can't do like a lifelong type of we're safe from you forever.
Right.
So
No, just
so as long as you're understanding that once you guys are like gone and this transaction is done,
yep,
everything else is back on the table. It's all fair game again.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Is that the contract you want to bring to him?
Sure.
Or is everyone else okay with that contract?
Well, real quick, just so everyone's completely clear, it is only Oliver signing this. No one else has to.
Yep.
Well, I'll sign it if he wants.
Oh, he will not accept your
He's
signature.
he's not taking it.
Oliver will not accept your signature. Oliver is not happy about this, but he's not letting anyone else
If you
do this
guys didn't have a
either.
tiefling, he would have never even given you a time for this.
Okay, well, even if it's just Oliver signing it, is everyone else okay with that simplistic deal? It's just a case of them leaving, us killing, us leaving.
Them leaving at their earliest possibility. Again, they were doing something. I know they were doing something up north, and you do know what caused them to leave from that. So you don't. He doesn't. I mean, no one knows exactly how long it'll be till they could get back up to where they want to be.
I mean, Barnes doesn't really say he doesn't want to give himself away, so because that's going to make things worse. So he's just staying silent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Oliver's okay with that deal. Relatively.
Well, real quick, it's 8:00. I'm gonna go get my other water bottle out of the fridge and refill this one. So, if you guys want, take a quick 5-minute break, discuss amongst yourselves what you're getting into, and we'll start back up in a few minutes because I'm gonna go grab more water.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yep.
Tara, you okay with it?
Yeah.
Dan, you okay with it?
At earliest convenience is
A little
sketch.
concerning. Yeah.
Maybe having a time limit would be nice, but it's hard to determine that.
Maybe.
Also, I found a house centipede on my blanket, which was great.
Ah, fun. Yeah, maybe just like specify within like a 10-day, something like that.
Yeah. As long as there's some kind of time limit. Otherwise, their earliest convenience may be forever.
Everyone else good? Right now. Man, I thought I was finally gonna have to actually like roll persuasion with Oliver.
Nope. Not yet.
That is such a shame.
You convinced him with your looks.
Yep.
So what a miss.
Nothing. The only thing we're thinking is we're gonna change it from instead of earliest convenience to giving a specific time that they have to leave by.
Like I said initially, like within the week.
Like a week, within a week or within a 10-day or whatever is like a reasonable amount of time, kind of thing.
Plus, We told them to
Right
leave.
now-
We didn't tell them that they had to go north. They can head fucking west into the mountains,
Yeah.
as far as I care.
Yeah, that is another mild concern, but at this point, I think that's a hurdle we cross when we come to it.
Might be able to dissuade them from at least going south.
But yeah, I don't think Gecko would have let Oliver sign that contract, especially when he was seeming more and more distressed by
Oh
it.
yeah, I know. This is like his worst nightmare come to life. Like it is I have strongly been considering just rolling in the background to see like if he just fucking bolts.
Well, Al's getting close to that nearly TPK action again.
I'm back.
So
Only change I think we have is that give a specific timeline for when they leave. Would be like within, instead of just saying at their earliest convenience, to say like within like a week or a 10-day or whatever is appropriate.
Whatever is appropriate is up to you guys.
Yeah, which I mean, Oliver would I do not happily, that's the wrong word to use there, but he would ask how much time he needs to get his people together and leave if he's in charge again.
Okay.
And use whatever time he gives for that. And if he doesn't give a straight answer, then he is going to just say like a week.
He will say that he doesn't like it here, being so close to a temple of pretty much the god who is the arch enemy of his god, or of his lord. So he is more than willing to leave. Give him 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
and they will be completely out of this horrible, horrible town.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all agreeable then. One thing before they sign it, but we should probably wait for the others to get back. Just,
Okay.
in
I'm
case
here,
shit hits the fan.
I'm here. I'm just eating crackers.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm eating peanuts.
yeah, in and out of character, I was getting a bit worried by the fact of the contract was getting more and more
Longer and more complicated. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It was trying to keep it simple while also getting everything and making it as appealing as possible. So it wasn't a, nope, let's sound the alarm right now because this sounds bullshit.
I'm sure everything will be fine. Yeah, I see. I kind of had like shit planned out for the whole skill stuff. For if you came in from this way, if you came in, like I had it kind of planned out, like not specific buildings and houses, but more of like the areas you were in. So you would have probably had a much easier time if you would have went and talked to the little crying creature.
well, hindsight's a bitch.
Well, to be fair, also you would have had a much worse time if you ever tried to come down from this direction. This area right here is hell, pretty much.
Congratulations. Your skill check is combat.
It wouldn't have been combat, but it would have been much higher DCs because, like I said, I gave it out to you before that this area was like where they were all kind of living, like staying. So this area has a lot more people to sneak by.
But that's why I asked for that survival role of like, where's the best way we can get in without much attention. So we purposely didn't just walk in the front door and go, hi guys!
That is such a welcome change of pace.
Well, I mean, that's why I kind of did it that way because I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, they'll say, fuck it, let's just go by the way that is the shortest to get to the church. And it would have been this way. So I was like, I'm going to make that a living hell for them to get through if they go that way.
With our stealth rolls, we would have shit the bed immediately.
You guys started doing good on stealth, like, as you got deeper into the city, though, to be fair.
Only a little bit.
I realized while we were doing that just that the change in what armor I'm wearing has moved Oliver from second worst at stealth to second best. And that
you guys could have
concerns
also
me.
made it a lot easier on yourselves. If you guys started going through buildings, you guys could have been a lot sneakier. But you guys
Yeah.
kept just running across roads. I was like, it turned from like a complete skills check to like almost completely skill and stealth and perception.
Well, I mean, we're trying to go between buildings, not on the main road. But, yeah.
Well, I think I mentioned it once or twice, but you guys could have gone down a well and gotten through a lot of this area underneath.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I specifically mentioned there's a well there.
Well, luckily for us, we didn't know the layout of the town. And we definitely wouldn't have known there was an underground passage in a well.
Oh, absolutely not.
That sounds more like the oh shit, they're coming, where can I hide option.
See, I kind of just gave it as a like, oh wait, why would he mention a well? Like
Yeah.
if anyone picked up on it, I was more because it wouldn't. It's not like all the wells are connected. It's like specific ones can get you to other ones. But yeah,
You assume I pick up on hints.
Bold assumption.
well, I mean, I tried giving you guys a very, very big hint. The first stealth check you made when I was like, well, yeah, if you guys are ready to move, go ahead and roll stealth. No one looked around or anything yet.
Locked out there.
Yep.
But you guys, yeah, let's roll stealth. Let's go. But everyone is back now, so Oliver,
Yeah.
if you want to go over one final time what you're willing to put in contract.
So, as you had said before, it is they leave us alone, they leave Willow alone, they leave the area where our target is unguarded and to, like, keep people away from it. We go in, we kill him, we leave, and they leave here within, he said, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's everything in the contract. Oliver
Okay.
will offer to him unsigned currently.
He goes down, goes over it all, and he just, I don't see anything out of order. You really aren't you're not like the rest of our kind. You're lucky I didn't write this myself.
Yeah, I know. I do have one question before I sign that, though.
Yes.
I know that you're obviously under Asmodeus, but is there a specific lord of the Nine Hells that you're under as well?
He kind of, well, there is, but I don't really see how that is of your concern. While I may be taking orders from others. Everything I do is for the Lord.
Call it curiosity, I guess. But
Yes. Well, I would stick to what's in the contract and away from everything else. So, he he pulls the contract from your hand, puts it down on the ground, and takes one of his barbed fingers, pricks another one of his fingers, and signs it in his own blood.
I don't even think I have anything sharp on me. But
One sec, Oliver, and I'm going to quickly take out my tinker's tools and make him a nice little cartographer set with a nice pen. Just if need be. And,
Oliver, you are the only one who can read it, since he did write it in
Inferno.
Yeah. Ilmaxon.
Oh, Max. Okay. Oliver will sign it visibly, like
Are you
shaking as
using
he
a
does
pen?
so.
Are you using a pen?
I gave him a cartographer tool set
Yeah.
right now.
No,
Well,
I understand.
I'll
That's
I'll
gonna-
cut his finger.
Yeah,
No, this is straight up just a tool set that you can use to write fancily.
he'll just use some sort of implement to at least prick his finger as best as he can. Wince a little bit as he does it.
we could just like Gecko stab you in the stomach or something real quick. That'd be fun.
Right? Yeah. No, get shot again. Why not?
Yeah.
Just and like, shaking a hand, like looking away from the paper as he does it, just like draw his name onto there.
And once you're done, he kind of looks at you and nods, and he goes, "Now, I don't assume that you are familiar enough with the ritual to make this binding."
Right. Yes.
You are the one who wrote it. Would you allow me to make it binding?
Yes.
He nods, and you can hear him. It's mostly just like, you know, a very small, very short ritual of like, you know, it's kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it aside from it's just like it's like a bit of a blood thing, where that's why you sign with blood. It's kind of just solidifying it, guaranteeing it. And at one point he says in Abyssal, "I agree," or I'm sorry, in Infernal, "I agree," and looks at you expectantly.
Oliver will do the same.
Right. And both of your signatures kind of spark up a little bit with little bits of flame, and are kind of they're no longer look like red. It looks like it was written in black now. It is just burned into the paper, and he nods and hands it back to you.
Okay.
Right. Well, you wrote the contract. We both agreed. You can tell me when you're ready, and we can get on with this. Either way, you all die, and he has a bit of a smile on his face, as well as me getting your soul. Or, with an even bigger smile on his face, he says, "I'll be rid of Mizrak."
Yep.
Very
Alright.
good.
Just a couple minutes. I'll tell you as soon as we're ready.
Very good. And he goes and sits down on a chair and just crosses his legs, looking very content.
I'll just whisper to Oliver. That was about 10 seconds from chopping his fucking head off.
I know.
Well, a deal's been made.
If it works, forgive me, then they'll have to leave here. And we will have dealt a blow to one of their more powerful members. And we'll have your friend back. Oliver looks a little faint, but
You did good
everyone
in this
ready?
Ready. And you did good in this situation, Oliver.
I'll quickly take my Tinker's tools to make a turret.
Mhm.
Suppose as ready as I'll be.
Oliver.
I assume we're not an hour away from the temple.
No, you're literally a 2-minute walk from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're like right across from the map anyway.
Well, I'm gonna drink it.
Okay.
Oh, it lasts for an hour. That's nice. Couple things. First, Oliver is going to pick out the components he needs from his pack and cast his Armor of Agathis. He has 10 temporary hit points now.
I'm going to take out my nice boomsticks and have them set and ready.
And once we're out of
And-
there, I'll drop invisibility on me and Alba.
Just I can ward one person before we start against devils. I don't know who would get the most benefit from it, though.
If it's helping to ward one of us, I would imagine Barnabas might be useful, so he may continue throwing his spells and concentrations if need be.
Or
It'll-
Gekko, because he'll be up close.
And that is the other option, but I don't know what the warding is exactly.
So it'll. So mechanically, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target, and the target cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
All right then.
Give it to Gekko.
Okay.
So
To Gekko it goes.
I was thinking either Gekko or Alba, probably, since they're going to be closer.
Gekko, give it to him.
Okay. So Gekko, Oliver will then pull out the DOS loot and give you protection from evil and good.
Cool.
Awesome. Or maybe as we're about to walk in the
Yeah,
place.
that one is only 10 minutes.
It's only 10 minutes, and I can't use it while my shield is on, so it's 10 minutes and we're walking over now.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then I will say, just give it. Maybe you do it in a couple of minutes because he's gonna. Once you're saying we're getting ready to go,
Yeah.
he's gonna go out and start gathering the people in the
Oh yeah,
immediate area.
it's going to be all right. We're ready. Go ahead and
All right,
just
when you
as
say
soon as
he's
he
ready,
comes-
when you say you're ready, he goes right. Well then, I think it'll be fair. 5 minutes from now, we will begin the hour.
Okay.
I will be able to gather my forces and take them to an area where we can pray to our Lord. Keep them there for the hour. So, 5 minutes, be on your way. And he walks out the door, closes behind him, and you hear just him start shouting, "Everyone, gather, gather! We have something to do." And you just hear him like walking around, and as he's saying it, his voice gets lower and lower as he's walking away.
Yep, as he's doing, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself again as a cultist.
And once it's like right on the cusp of that 5-minute mark, Oliver will use the DOS loot to give Gekko protection from evil and good, and then put the loot away and put his shield back on.
Barnabas will cast Mage Armor out of his Staff of Defense.
All
Right?
right.
Alba just pulls out her swords.
I just pull out my one
believe-
sword.
Yeah, your sword.
Great. Oh. All right. So, as you approach the temple, you look up at it, and you see cracks in the wood, silver hanging and falling down, fiendish symbols carved and written in blood all along the walls. And the statue of Avandra that once stood atop the front steps is headless at the moment. It is mostly one story with just, it's like got the temple ceilings. They're very high and domed. But there are, as you're looking around, you can see a couple of rooms up on the up above what would be like the main area of the temple. So there are a couple possible entrances on the second floor, I guess you could say. The walls are 25 feet high, and you see the back door is left unguarded, of course. And you do see another door that appears to be kind of broken, already opened. So what do you guys want to do?
Just super quick, not stopping for it super long, but you said that we can see the statue and it's headless.
Yes.
Can we see the head anywhere nearby?
Do perception.
Perception. I'm so great at perception.
You see a lot of broken and rubble and stuff. Probably just that. You don't see an actual head anywhere.
Okay. That's fine. Moving on then.
Our enchantments won't last for too long, so we just go in the front.
Or the back.
Oh, we'll head in the back then.
All right. Let me. All right. So, what is your guys' marching order?
I imagine Gecko's got nice protection. He's going.
Yeah, probably
My
Gecko
guess
and
would be-
Alba.
Yep.
Alba, Rothgar, Oliver, Barnabas would be my guess. Unless anyone disagrees with that.
All right.
No, I'm good with that. I'm basically just going in to kill a demon.
Okay. So, upon entering, you notice that all altars have been destroyed. Benches have been tossed aside to make room for large demonic runes left in the middle of the floor. There are sconces lit that are still giving off light, but at the far end, up where you would assume services would be held in this temple, you see a very large demonic creature that appears to have 4 arms, 2 of which are ended with pincers. And it appears that he's performing some sort of... You can't tell if it's a ritual or if he's... There's still what appears to be some sort of divine light in the temple that he is attempting to get rid of. And I will pull you all here. And you are all down here. So I think if you guys do scroll up, you should be
Yep.
able to see because of the light up here.
Yep.
But there should be also dark spots in between.
DM, there's no place I can't see.
Really? Nothing?
Nothing.
It's just that this area is dimmer.
Yeah. It gets a little dim, and then this area is like right
Everything
around
black.
here is dimmer, but not like black
Okay.
out.
All right. Well, so you guys can see inside like these rooms.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, we're good. So, yeah, you guys are looking around. He seems to be preoccupied up there. Are some bodies left around. These are the demonic runes that I was talking about here and here. And he is a pretty large creature up here doing something, trying to, it looks like, destroy the last bits of the Temple of Avandra that are still holding.
Yep.
I'm just gonna start walking up.
Okay.
Oliver's grabbing at his symbol of the Everlight, but walking.
Not trying to be quiet at all.
Nope, just walking normally.
Are these all pillars?
Yes. Well, they're not very tall. I don't know if you've ever been in like a Catholic church, but if you think about like, where they would have holy water, like it's like probably about waist high kind of fountains. These ones back here are more pillars.
Okay.
So these are like just like little waist high basins.
Echo can just walk up if he wants. Oliver's trying to be quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alba's going to go off to the side and kind of crouch walk over.
I'll attempt to at least
If you're trying to be quiet, roll stealth.
stay behind these pillars here. The
14.
fountains, yeah. The basins, the half high ones.
I'm obviously going to be avoiding the pentagrams. I'll be walking around them, but continue to walk it up the entire way.
As you get past this first one, you do notice the creature, his head kind of snap up, and he turns around and starts looking in your direction. I think that Barnabas, you do speak Abyssal.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, you are the only one who can understand this, as he turns and says, "How did you get in here?"
I'll respond back in Abyssal and tell him that the door was open.
Okay. All right. Well then, we can go ahead and roll initiative. That might have been the best response possible. All right.
Pretty fantastic.
28.
Yeah, dude, swashbucklers can go immensely fast.
Right.
Or
All right. And I mean, I'm sure you guys are used to it by now, but just so you all know, this clearly isn't a standard monster. I have made changes, but yeah.
Yeah, and if you were gonna throw one of these guys at us level by itself, I'd be a little slightly concerned. Most of us are big boys and girls; we can take care of it. But
Well, I think you took that as me saying I might have made it a bit easier, which might not be the
is
case.
not the case. We'll find out.
No,
I made changes to a lot of the stuff, some making it easier, but it's going to be my first time using something with this kind of stuff, so we'll see. Alba.
Cool.
Okay. I think that Alba is just going to wait where she is, and if he comes in close enough, she will attack.
So you're holding a melee?
Yep.
All right. Ooh, 1. All right. Barnabas.
I'll just move up there and I'm gonna hold for now. I'm not gonna hold any spells. I'm just gonna stay there.
You want to dodge or anything?
Yeah, I suppose take the dodge action.
Don't want to waste it. All right. Gecko.
Gecko understands it's throwdown time, so I would like to rage. So I would like to charge 40 feet forward. Could I use my athletics to just go across the pews?
Yeah.
So I've got advantage on a +9.
Yeah. You are able to make it with no problem.
So that's 40 feet. And because I'm not quite in range, I shall quickly pull out one of the curved handle picks and throw it at him. Because fuck you.
All right. All right. That does hit.
I would certainly hope so.
Is it at disadvantage from the range?
Who is it? Yeah, it is.
Well, I always throw it reckless anyway. Well, I do everything at reckless.
You do. You do.
I mean, I keep it fair because I let you. That's so you can purposely hit.
No, yeah, you do. Can you reckless ranged? I think you can as long as it's a strength one, right?
Well,
Yeah, you still throw. It's a throwing weapon. So
yeah, it's a throwing
use
axe
strength
basically.
and such.
Yeah, we'll do it. I mean, this thing has a lot of HP. I'm not worried about that. We're good. So you hit it. It sinks in.
And I'll throw the
And it
second
actually
one.
does not fall out.
Well, cool. I'll throw
Okay.
the second one recklessly as well. Does a
Both
23
hit.
hit? Yeah, awesome.
Yes, it does.
So that
All
was
right.
24 points of damage, I hope.
It was. Well, actually, wait.
They're not.
Those are not magical, yes?
So
No, they're not. It's not going to be 24 points of damage, I know that.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that was basically me.
Okay. So, it is now Commander Mizrak's turn. And he just looks at you, lets out a bestial, it's a mixture between a scream and growl, and rips the pick out of himself and moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to move up to you, and okay. See, this is the first time I've ever played something or used something that has this many attacks. So
That's an encouraging statement.
it is going to take 2 swings with you with it. 2 swings at you with its fists.
Will it be at straight because disadvantage and advantage?
Oh yes, it will.
Yeah,
You're right because you have the protection. So
that was a little bit of my concern with giving it to Gecko, is he's just going to cancel it out. But
well, I mean, to be fair, the first one wouldn't have mattered anyway. The lowest he rolled was a 21, so you're going to take 8, half down to 4.
And I'm going to vengefully assault him.
Okay.
So 24 to hit.
That's hit.
And that's magical.
That one. Okay, so that one's going to be the full 14.
Yes.
All right. So that was its first punch. Second punch coming at you is a 18.
That'll miss.
Okay. And then it's going to take 2 pincer attacks at you as well.
Seems fair.
So these are straight rolls, right?
Everything's straight
Yep.
because of the disadvantage
Alright.
advantage.
Well, that is a
Yep.
crit.
Awesome.
Not a lot of damage. I didn't roll great on damage. It is 22 halved is 11 points of damage.
Okay.
But you must make a DC 15 strength check.
Check or save?
Well, actually, do athletics because it's a grapple check.
Okay, I think I have advantage due to rage.
Yep. All right. 25 is enough. So it is not able to grapple onto you. But one more pincer attack. This one is a 13. So it's going to miss. And it looks very, 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 very angry. Oliver.
All right. Well, I don't want to step on this thing. Jackal is 65 feet from me.
Geckle's fine.
So Oliver's just going to step up one space. And just, you got this! Which will be a first level healing word. Oh, wait, you already used your reaction. Shit. Oh, well.
Yeah,
You
let's
got
say
6 hit points.
So say I didn't even need the healing, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you got 6 hit points. And since that was my bonus action, if I step up another 5 feet, am I on this symbol?
You would be close to it, but I'll say if you're trying to, you could like skirt around it, like keeping your feet just off of it.
Actually, you know what? 10,
Technically, I'm
15,
back
20,
up to full
25.
because you took away my temporary hit points.
Good call.
So that'll actually be... He's just not even going to risk it. He's got enough movement to go 10, 15, 20, 25. Get up. Like, here. And he's going to throw out a Ray of Frost.
$14 will miss.
That's the turn.
All right. Rothgar.
Alrighty. Well, let's see. I'm going to attempt to move up a bit here. Okay. And I will cast Expeditious Retreat on myself. And then bonus action, I'm going to use my turret to fire at him.
Okay. $25 will hit.
Nice.
So some damage there, and he's pushed back 5 feet.
All right.
And that will be my turn.
Right. Real quick. At the end of your turn, he's going to use 2 legendary action points. And
Legendary actions at level 5.
yeah, I like I said, I made this thing. I made it like easier, but difficult at the same time. Like I scaled him back, but gave him crazy shit he could do. So you guys see him start to speak strange words in Abyssal, and the demonic symbols on the ground start to light up, and from each, you see a couple of horned creatures appear.
Fun times.
Nope.
So now would probably be a good time to tell you that most of Barnabas's damage spells are fire-based.
Thought so.
So, Alba, it is your turn.
Okay.
These 2 new creatures just popped out.
Yep, she'll say, good luck, and whoops. Bonus action. She will dash there. And use her short sword to attack. This one.
Right. 22 definitely hits. You don't get sneak. Oh, actually, wait. I think you get sneak because you're
She does.
swashbuckler, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Healer.
Okay. All right. So that is 21 points of damage. Very nice.
And I think that was all her move.
You use your action and bonus to dash?
Yes.
I mean, your bonus to dash. All right. Okay. All right. And now it is currently this one down here's turn. So if it rolls a 1 or 2, it's going to go towards Rothgar. 3 or 4 is going to be Oliver. Rothgar. This thing is going to move up towards you. With it has a very large glaive in it, 2 of its hands, and it is going to take a swing at you with that. 15 to hit.
Nope.
All right, and then it is going to have a couple of spines shoot out at you, and a 21 to hit.
Shield.
All right, so both attacks missing. Barnabas. Earth and Grasp. Which one are you doing it on? Great. That is a strength save. He rolled an 8, so he is restrained?
Yep.
There, he is restrained. And he takes 6 points of damage. Okay. Anything else? Any movement or anything, Barnabas? If you are talking, you are muted.
Sorry, yeah, I was muted. But yeah, I will just curse at the big devil in Abyssal.
Get its attention, please, little wizard.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Geckle. We're back to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure no matter how much the little wizard keeps swearing at it, I've probably got its attention. So I will move up to here. And I will recklessly take the first swing at our new friend.
They have very low AC, so I'm pretty... Yeah, you hit him. And he looks very, very hurt. Well below bloodied.
and I'll take the second swing at the four-armed thing that's trying to ruin my day.
All right. 15 points of damage. Very nice. It will use its last legendary action point to counterattack at you with its pincer.
Seems fair.
Ooh.
It's a straight roll, so it's only an 11 to attack or to hit, so it will miss you.
Yep, AC 19.
Alrighty. Any more movement? Or are you staying there?
No, I'll stay there. I'm trying to get both of their attentions.
Okay. All right. This thing up here, you did just get its attention. It is going to take a swing at you with its glaive. Geckel. That is a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. It is only 4. I rolled a 1 on damage. But so half down to 2, and then I need a Constitution saving throw. You pass that. So you are not poisoned.
Yes, having a +9 in strength and constitution throws is helpful.
Mm-hmm. And then Alba, as he's doing that, one of its little spikes pops out at you.
Yep.
For 19 to hit.
19 is her AC.
Okay, so you will take 8 points of damage, of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do you have uncanny dodge or evasion?
Yeah, she's got uncanny dodge now, but I might... Yeah, let's use the reaction.
So that would have it down to 4.
Yep. And then... Constitution
Oh,
was...
people are getting too many reactions. You're not going to be able to make them hit everything.
Okay, it's okay. The bard is really bad at that anyway.
You also are not poisoned.
Yay.
All right. It will now be Mizrak's turn. And he is going to move 1, 2, 3. He is going to get in range of both of you. All right. So each of you are going to get one of the attacks. So we'll go with Alba first. You're getting a punch for only 14, so he misses.
Yep.
And then a pincer for 21.
Yep.
So that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And oh shit! You know what? I'm not gonna redo it because it was my own mistake. You don't get a save. You're grappled. It's a DC 15 to escape it. So yeah, I made that mistake last time. My bad. But so Gecko, you're good. But Alba, I'm sorry, you're grappled.
That is okay.
All right. And then Gecko, he is going to punch out at you with one of his fists.
That's fair.
He rolled a 12 and a 13. And then he's going to try to pincer you as well.
Okay.
And it's a straight roll, so it's a 17.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Okay. Oliver. You just saw this thing squeeze around Alba's from her, like, over her chest and shoulder, and it is now lifting her off the ground.
You guys got this. Everyone have 5 temporary hit points. Anyone who wants to use their reaction and who isn't grappled can move.
I just love that you're like the best motivational speaker ever.
I'm good where I am.
And then Oliver, since we've got one right here and it is grasped, is just going to go for another ray of frost, this time at advantage.
Okay.
Because it is restrained.
.22 does hit it.
So this one takes 9 cold damage.
Doesn't do as much damage as you thought it would.
Okay.
It is a type of a devil.
Yep.
That it is.
All right. Any movement? Anything like that?
Yes. I don't know what else could be coming out of this, so 5, 10, 15, 20. And that's my turn.
All right. Well, at the end of your turn, it's going to use another legendary action. Well, 2 points of it, and it is going to. You guys are all standing there, and you do notice all of the ground around you starts to turn colors, start turning red, and flames burst out from the ground underneath all of you. So everyone, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Minus me.
You are not touching the ground, correct?
And mine's at advantage.
Thank God.
I also take half damage.
All right. So, only Gecko passes.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to take 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As the desecrated ground begins to erupt with flame.
Gekkel, you no longer have protection from evil and good.
Awesome.
So yeah, so everyone else will take 7. Gekkel, you would take half and half. So you take nothing, right?
A quarter?
Or do you take a quarter? So
Yeah, so 1.
2. Yeah, 1. Yeah. So yeah, you will take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Hrothgar, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Gonna try to take out my wand and try to shocking grasp this one right next to me.
Right? That's gonna hit it. So that's 3.
So yeah, 3 damage to it.
All right. Any movement?
Yep.
Can it take reactions with restraint? It's just a disadvantage, right?
It's just a disadvantage, but shocking
The
grasp
shocking
means
grasp
it can.
prevents it. Yep.
Very true. All right. Is that your turn?
Nope. And then I'll move up there, and then bonus action, shoot again with my turret.
All right. Gonna hit.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Alba, you are grappled, but you can either try to escape or you can just keep swinging. It's up to you.
Yeah, she will attempt to escape.
All right.
Can she
Either
use
acrobatics or athletics to escape.
Okay. Acrobatics.
Okay. Yeah, you get out. You fall back to the ground, and you still have your bonus action.
Yep, bonus action, disengage, and she's going to hop back over here. Actually, yeah. Yeah, she'll go there.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. It is going to be the restrained one's turn. So it can't move. And it has no range. Barnabas, it is your turn.
Well, it can use an action to try and break free if it wants.
Oh, it can't. All right. What is it? A DC?
16.
And it's a strength check.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not very strong. Yeah, I rolled a 13. So now it is your turn, Barnabas.
I'm gonna make it roll another strength save, and if it fails, it's gonna take 2d6 damage. So I'm crushing it with the hand.
All right. Yeah. Well, guess what? This time a natural 1.
So it takes another 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And let's see. Since everybody's leaving the wizard, I'll move up here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you have restrained, so just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I know it's kind of hard to tell, but that is a little up, like a higher area, like 10 feet up. Like you can see the stairs coming up.
I'll go there.
Okay. Jekyll.
I shall continue to recklessly because why the hell not? I'll hit the one above me.
Okay.
So
One above you.
15 damage to him. Then I will take the second swing and attempt to aim for one of his pincers
All right.
for a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that does hit.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. It's going to use a legendary action once again to chop out at you with a counterattack.
Yeah, that's fair.
A 17 to hit. I rolled a 17 and a 29.
Well, these are at advantage for you now.
Oh
Yep.
my god, so I rolled a natural 20.
Yes.
I forgot it's not straight anymore. Yeah. Oh
Trying to
fuck.
fix that.
You take 32 halved down to 16.
Okay.
And you are grappled.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. It is now his turn. I'll say his first attack is going to be just squeezing the pincer down on you even harder. That is a 18 at the highest with advantage.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Okay. I don't know how he misses when he's just squeezing you and he's already holding you, but he will take a punch at you. Once again with advantage, he rolled a 14.
I
And
believe
then-
that'll miss as well.
He's going to move down towards you, Rothgar, with Gekkel in tow. And he is going to punch and pinch you as well. The punch is a 22 to hit.
Shield.
All right. And the pincer is a 26 to hit. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Not. It's not at advantage. It's a 20 to hit.
It would still be covered by
I guess I'll
shield.
take that.
Yeah, you're still good.
Oh, that's right. I'd still be good because of shield. Yeah, we're good.
It's good until your turn, I believe.
Yes.
All right. That is his turn. Oliver.
Okay, I think this is gonna work, but correct me if I am wrong. So, Oliver is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30? Or no, just 30. There it is.
All right.
Then bonus action. I hate this idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mantle of Inspiration. Everyone should still be in range for it, so anyone who wants to move their temporary hit points to 5 will get that. Oliver is also going to take those hit points, which means Armor of Agathis is gone. But it means that he can use his reaction right now to move another 30 feet.
I'm also going to use my reaction to move right now.
Now, why did I get rid of Armor of Agathis? Just because you can't have different
You can't-
sources of...
Yeah, you can't have 2 sources of temporary hit points. And if I don't take the hit points, I can't move. So...
I didn't know you had to take the hit points to move.
Yes.
Got
So
it.
that's why I haven't been moving a lot, because a lot of times it's like, ooh, but I have better hit points. Don't make me move.
You could have definitely pulled one over on me, so thank you.
You're welcome. So fun if I cheat. And that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm assuming with 10 feet of movement, I can make it just like off the back of the bench.
Yep.
Can I reach Gekkel?
Maybe my foot.
That's
Yeah,
all I need.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say yeah. I mean, it's not like he's holding them up above his head or anything.
Right. So, hey, Geckel. First of all, grab at the holy symbol. Have another protection from evil and good.
Yay!
And you can use your reaction if you would so choose to make an attack.
I would so do. Yes. I would like to-
At disadvantage since you're grappled, so you could make
Grap-
a straight roll. Or does grapple not
Grappled,
affect you?
grappled is just you can't move.
Okay. All right, then yeah, you're good.
So
Yeah,
I'm
if it
going to-
restrains him too, then it would be disadvantage. But
Gotcha.
So I'm going to recklessly attack him because he's very graciously taking me with him.
Mm-hmm.
There's an 18 hit.
That just misses. With the armor he has on, he is at a 19 AC.
Well, that's disappointing.
and that is my whole freaking turn.
Yeah, just that. Rockar.
Okay. Well, we're going to take out the axe, my nice new magic axe, and we're going to try a booming blade.
All right. Nope.
Then, going to move a little. And turret.
All right. Nope, nope. Too close.
Yep, and I guess that'll be my turn.
Right. Elba.
Okie doke. If she moves here, will she be flanking?
Yes, you will.
Okay, she's gonna move there. Attack with her short sword. Miss.
Ooh,
Sword
but
of
a big hit there.
Lightstein.
All right. So
Sneak
you also.
attack.
Yep.
And then bye bye.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, this thing does look bloodied. All right. The one that is restrained is once again going to try to break free. Strength save. It rolled a 16.
It is a 16 DC.
Okay, so it is out, but that will be its turn, and it will move 1, 2. Actually, it sees it's the person who summoned it getting surrounded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to come up to you, Rathgar, but no actions. Barnabas.
I will cast Ray of Sickness at it.
At the big one or little one?
The little one who just ran past.
Okay. Constitution save. That is a 1 again. So it is 9 points of damage. What kind of damage is this? Poison?
Yep.
It is immune. So if it's immune to poison damage, okay, never mind. It's also immune to the condition of poisoned.
So yeah, nothing.
Any more movement?
Nope.
All right, Geckel.
Well, as this thing keeps dragging me along, I will shout out in common. Thank you for keeping me with you.
36. Holy shit. Yeah, this thing is... Yeah, that hurt it. Wow.
Just a big grin as I end my turn.
All right. All right. Geckel. Well, actually, first I'll go with Rothgar. Rothgar, it is going to try to pincer you. That is a 23 to hit.
No, I'll have to take this one.
So that's going to be 14 points of damage. And then Geckel, it is going to try to squeeze down harder onto you. That is a 23 to hit.
This is at normal now due to the renewed...
I actually rolled two 23s.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, that'll...
All right, so 18 half down to 9. And then just because I think it's hilarious, for its 2 punch attacks, it is going to try to slam you 2 together. So that is a 27 to you, Rothgar, and a 21 to you, Geckel.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Rothgar, you take 8 more points of damage, and Geckel, you take 7 half down to 3.
I'm still looking good.
Mm-hmm. Oliver.
All right. Well, how you doing, Rothgar? Okay.
Been better.
Hey, you guys got it. Just hang in there, and it's gonna be another healing word for Geckel, since he won't have disadvantage from being so close.
All right.
So Geckel gets 7. You can use your reaction to smack someone.
I'll smack him again because it's funny.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think a 32 hits damn near everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Move 5, 10, 15, and I will also throw a ray of frost at the big guy. And that's my turn.
Real quick. All right. It's going to use, and this is the only time it can do this, but it's going to use a two legendary actions to cast a spell onto you, Oliver.
Oh, joy.
And because you can't have anywhere near that much HP, you are stunned.
Okay, cool.
So you can make a Constitution saving throw.
I'll counterspell it.
Okay. You're gonna have to roll. So what is it? Yours, it's like +1 for everything over level 3.
It's
4.
10 plus the spell level.
It's plus the spell level. I thought it was.
Nope. 10 plus the spell level.
If it's third
But
level
Barnum-
or lower, it fails automatically.
Yeah.
Fourth level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcaster ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay, so you need to make an 18. It's an 8th level spell.
Power word stun, really?
Dude, it's the one big spell it has. Nothing else
You know
is
what?
like.
Frankly, if you were going to give it an 8th level spell, I'm happy it's power word stun, because you could have been much meaner
Well,
with
see,
that.
I actually didn't even give it this one. This one was just it's an 8-1.
Oh, right.
So what I have to roll? Intelligence.
Yeah.
Is it just a straight intelligence check?
Or is it a spell attack?
It is just a straight intelligence ability check. Which is why bards are better at it, because they can add jack of all trades.
Get fucked.
You just
Yeah.
counterspelled a level 8 spell at level 5.
Yeah. All right. You are clear, Oliver.
Yay! I'm not incapacitated. Done.
I should have fucking tried to do it to Bar. Oh no, it wouldn't even matter if I did to Barnabas. He could have still done it. All right, Rothgar.
Well, sorry, Gaggle. Taking my nice wand, and I'd like to be let go now. Thunderwave, and it's gonna sound like a gunshot.
Oh, you can aim that you won't hit. You'll actually hit both of them.
Thunderwave is self 15 feet from.
Yeah, 15-foot cube, though. Right?
Yeah.
originating
so-
from.
So you place
so
a
it
3
could
by
be
3
like-
box that you're
It
touching.
could be like that. So it doesn't mean that it's like 15 feet surrounding you. It means that you could literally put it here, here, here.
It's just a 3 by 3 box that you're touching a side of.
So yeah, you don't have to worry
Cool.
about hitting Gecko.
So you could hit either one of them, or you could hit both of them and yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting.
I mean, you can
Well,
hit
it does
Gecko.
not
He's not.
affect
He's
me,
not
so
Marvin.
I mean, if it doesn't affect you, then you can hit both of them.
So what kind of save is that for them? Con?
I think so.
The big one passes, the little one fails. So this will move 10 feet away. Ooh, 13.
Okay, so damage, and then because I used my firearm,
That's for extra
Yeah.
damage.
yep, firearm because I did use a artificer spell. So yes, extra damage fun.
All right. This one is looking very, very hurt. Any move? Oh no, you can't move. Alba, your turn.
Yep. Alba's going to run
Well,
back.
Well,
Oh wait. Actually, you have a bonus action.
I
Sorry.
do have bonus action if I need it as well. Yeah, we're gonna try. I know it sucks, but we're gonna try a shot. Come on! Wow, D20. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Christ, D20, work with me here. Whew, there we go.
Nope.
Eh.
Worth a shot though.
Oh,
Now Alba.
Yeah. Alba will run over here. And-
I don't know if you would still have advantage right now because he's grappled. So, you know what? Yeah, you do. You do.
Okay. I'm good either way, but attack once, attack twice,
Yeah, both hit.
and sneak.
Hey, yeah, this thing is looking extremely, extremely hurt.
Yay!
All right. Actually, you know what? In one of its attacks, it's going to use its last legendary action onto you, Alba.
Yep.
And it is going to try to hit you with Gecko.
Okay.
22 to hit.
Yep.
9 points of damage.
And
9
she will
points of-
use her reaction to half that.
9 points of Gecko damage. And
So 4 points, is it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And I am so not used to legendary stuff. I completely forgot I could have. What can I resist counterspell? Actually, I don't think so.
No, because it doesn't target you. It's not a
Yeah,
save
it
that he
targets the
makes.
spell. Okay. All right, so I didn't fuck up. Yay.
If he got targeted by like an earth and grasp or something, then he
Yep.
could use.
Yep. All
No
right.
one's targeted him.
All right. Well, this thing just got knocked away from you. It is going to come back up to you and try to glaive attack at you, Rothgar. A glaive is going to be a 23 to hit.
Got a shield.
All right. And then it will take an attack at you with his beard as well. 24 to hit. I don't know if that one makes a difference.
That
Does
one
the
does
24 hit
actually
you?
hit. It does
Okay.
just hit. Yep, I just had to do some math.
All right. So you take 5 points of piercing, and I need a DC 12 con save. You are not poisoned, so you just take the 5 damage. And Barnabas, they both look very hurt.
All right. My last third level spell. It's not actually a third level spell, but I'm going to cast it at third level.
And you can hit just those two, right?
Yeah, I think so. I might end up hitting. It's a 10-foot radius. It might hit Rothgar.
It's a 10-foot circle.
Sphere,
Or-
yeah.
Okay.
10-foot radius. You can place that and just hit him.
Yeah, you could
It's a-
hit both of them. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure there's a way you could do it with a circle. So that is con save. Even if this one makes it, he is dead. This one, if he fails, he is dead. So legendary resistance. He'll take half damage. But I don't think that's going to matter much because it's Gecko's turn.
I mean, you just have a bonus action.
Oh yeah, true. Do you have anything else that could do damage to it? If Barnabas has the balls to walk up and try to hit him, I will give you the killing blow if you do it.
I can throw a dagger at him.
If you're not melee, you're not going to kill.
I can make it.
God, let me kill something.
Never.
All right, 19 to hit. No matter what the damage is, he has 10 HP. If you hit him, you are killing him. You're like, where the hell is the dagger on my sheet? Really?
Max damage. 5.
Barnabas, how do you do How do you kill him with your dagger, Barnabas? How do you do it? How do you tear this away from Gecko yet again?
Well, if we want to just do it for flavor, I'll just have through this whole thing I'll have had my my broom just floating next to me, and I'll just kind of hop on and just stab him in the eye.
Hmm.
I realize I'm taking action to get on my broom, but for flavor.
I do not care. Oh God. Yeah, you do. I mean, you would have done half his. Actually, it's not magical, so it would have been half. But yeah, he would have been down anyway. So, Gecko, you see your savior Barnabas float up, stabbing the demon in the eye, and it falls down and lets you go.
Wonderful.
Should I resist the urge to just upswing?
That's up to you. You're still raging.
No, I'm not gonna kill him.
See, I thought this was gonna be much harder than it actually was because it had a lot of HP and stuff. But I don't take into account how much damage barbarians do.
Barbarians and rogues, especially when they're getting even more extra attacks.
Just assume that Rob's going to do a lot of damage because obviously as his blood hunter, he just decimates everything. So just assume that anytime it's Rob's turn, you're going to
Holy
lose 75
shit.
hit points.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
So that's a demon dead.
High five, Barnabas.
Takes a solid few seconds to make sure that it's not moving anymore before Oliver actually moves in.
I'll just insert the blade into his fucking skull. Gecko's annoyed now.
I just want to say you missed for no reason, but you do it.
So Barnabas would immediately try to recover some demon blood. I assume I don't know, we didn't go into it, but I'm assuming that their demon
There
blood.
will be something that can be done with it, yes.
Yeah, I mean, for the rituals that I was reading about summoning demons, it seems like their blood would be useful.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Does he have horns?
Yeah, he has. They're not like full on demon horns, but yes, or devil horns, I should say.
Fuck it.
But yes, he does have horns.
I'm taking his horn.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to pry myself
I'll-
out of a Spencer and just. Well, I suppose that part of the deal is done.
Oliver's just gonna go up to Rothgar and be like, I thought for sure that you might get snapped in half. You're all right, right? And that
Of
is going
course.
to be as he is doing that. Why can't I find it? Where is it? There it is.
Cure wounds.
Oh yeah, not just to cure wounds. Hey, have 20 hit points.
Thank you.
Do you want me to do any kind of check to see how many vials of blood I can get?
I mean, you just literally stabbed it in the eye. It just fell. I'll say you could fill up to 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna damage
Actually, you know
the
what?
circles.
Roll a d5 plus 2. Because you, like I said, you did just kill it. It's not like it would have been exsanguinating for long.
I'm gonna collect my picks and I'm gonna destroy these circles on the ground by scoring them and smacking the ground.
Right? Well, before everyone gets into what you're going to look for and such,
Okay. I hate to dampen the mood, but we really need to find your friend fast.
I was gonna say, if you guys are cool with it, if we end here, Alba or Barnabas, whichever one of you, since it's from both of your backstories, if you want to get me a token of Willow, I will put that in for when we play next. Again, I'm not gonna be here next week, but the following. But if you get me a token for her or a picture, I can make the token. And if you could just give me a small description of what type of like attitude kind of stuff, like was she always nice, was she always mean, was she always grumpy, just so that way I could have a bit better idea of what to make her do.
I
Okey-dokey.
still only got 3 when I rolled a
You
D5.
did still only get 3.